Alright, welcome guys, welcome back again. And today we are going to start a very exciting part. Actually, we are going to integrate PHP and HTML. I know you guys, you're waiting it for a long time. You want to know how can you actually connect client side and server side. How do they communicate? Okay, it's the right time now. Today we are going to dive into it and learn it from scratch. And now let's dive in. We have a lot to do. Going directly to our files in where we install XAMPP server. Here we are, and this is htdocs. And right here we're going to create, I'm not going to create another file, but just opening the one that we have. Okay, let me find it. We say it's learn PHP. Here it is. And then now open it in terminal. Let's wait for a while. Yes, here just code period and open it like that. It's going to open this one. Yep, here it is. And as usual, we are going to divide this like this way. I'm gonna open a new tab and divide like this. Great. These are the codes that we have. You've written it in previous lesson. Okay, we have already learned how to create variables in PHP, for loops, while loop, for each loop, and so much. Now today, before moving on to actual part of the lesson today, let's learn something new in PHP. Let's make everything clear before. Let's try that. Localhost. Oh, sorry, I didn't start my server, so I just come back and say sudo. So this is Linux, so I have to write this one. OTP lamp XAMPP start. I'm gonna type my password like that and wait. Yeah, it's already running, so what's wrong? Let's try one more time again like that. It's not working. Hi. Localhost. Yeah. Yes, here it is. And let's open our folder. We call it learn PHP, and here we have our file. Let's try to echo something if it's working. And yeah, I think it's working. Good, perfect. Now in PHP we have something known as global variables. In global variables in PHP, we are creating it by using $sign as usual, and then we put underscore, then the name of that global variable. For example, we have this one, post. We also have this get, and we also have session. We also have another one like cookies. There are so much of this method, so we're going to learn more at the coming lessons. So for now, we're going to dive in first into these two global variables. What is post and what is get? Now to learn actually this one, we need first to create an HTML file. So let's try to put just basically markup HTML file like this one, and then let's say here we have just write learn PHP like this way, and within this one I'm going to create a simple HTML form like this one, and this form is going to be a get form like this one. That means the method of submitting it's a get form. Like here, this one we pass get. So here is where we specify now the action. Where do we submit this form? You can specify the direct path of your PHP file. For example, I want to create another file here and call it send.php here, and within this PHP file I want to just put something very basic like this one, and then just write echo send. Let's say this is a send. Yep, like that. And then here I'm gonna put now the action to specify where do I sending this file is send.php. And since they are in the same folder, there is no need of putting this, or you can put it whatever you want, it's fine. This means the current folder. And here I want to pass just an input type of submit. I think you guys you remember it. What are all these ones? So here I want to pass just name with the value here is send, so that we can actually see it like this. We have our button. If I just try to click this button, it's going to send this information from this form directly to this PHP file. Let's try it. There it is. You see, we have a message that is from our PHP file. So actually we are getting message from server. Now let's add an input here and say input type, let's say number like this, and let's just put first number like this way. And here I want to specify just all this is enough. Let's try to put a break tag here, and coming back and refresh it again, we have this one. And to know here, we just put a placeholder, placeholder like this one, and then let's say this, let's just say first number. Let's try to refresh. Yep, here it is. And now what we are trying to do here is, if we type something to that input field and hitting this send button, we need actually to get this value and send it to our server. So how can we implement something like that? It's too much easy. After creating this input, and we have this name, and we already specify that after submitting this form, the form will be submitted to this file, which is here. So what next now is to take this name of the input field, and let's specify also here, let's say give it a name, so not namespace, just name, and then say send like that. Now we have to copy this name like this, and coming back to our PHP file, now is the time to use those global variables. Remember it, we have post, and we have what again, get like this. Now is the time to use these global variables. Now it's depending on what type of method you used here. For example, here we use get method. Now inside this one, it's the time to use that get global variable. So we just say if num, creating a variable, and if not if number is equal to, we use get, and then here we specify that name of the input field. Remember it must be the same as this way. And after here, let's try to echo this value and say echo f number. So let's try and put something like 100 and hit send. Yep, we have it. Now that's somehow interesting. Let's try something. Let's try something interesting a little bit more. Let's just put this one here and open new tab. Let's copy this, and not copying, I just try localhost and just say len php, and inside this len php I just want to navigate directly to send.php without clicking this one. What's going to happen? You have an error here, unidentified index. What is this? This is because we just try to access the sent file, but actually this index, this name here, was not known. Why? Because if you come back to this file, you see that after sending a data to this one, we have this key which is passed through the URL. So now we have something interesting here. By using get method, the name that we specify here will be passed in a URL. For example, let's try something again. Let's just try to pass another data here. Let's say 200. Look what's going to happen here. After sending it, we're going to have 2000s in the browser. If number is equal to 2000, we are passing it. This is if you use a get method. But if you use a post method, this data are going to be hidden for the security. So let's try again and refresh, and let's send 2000 one more time. You see that we don't have it, but actually we're getting this error again. Why? We're going to solve it now real quick, like this. Let's go back again and change this one to get, like this way, and then refreshing. Yes, let's pass data. The error is gone. But this is not how we solve it. If you try to access the file directly without clicking this one, you're going to get the same error like this one. So now how to solve this one? To solve this issue in PHP, we have a function known as isSet. This function is actually checking if something is really set, it has a value. So before just trying this operation here, we need to check if it's real, we have that value. So we just use if, and then we pass that function isSet, like this one, and then here we pass our global variable which we used in index.php, and then like this one here we pass that f name, so it's f number, like this. So actually if we just try to see that if this one is set, we just say echo and say button is clicked, like this one. If is not set, then we're going to have button is not clicked. That means somebody is accessing this file directly without clicking the button. So echo button is not clicked. So let's try it again. Let's just refresh. Remember, we are accessing this file without passing from this one. So let's just try to refresh, and we see that button is not clicked, but we have warning here, a constant, and it find a constant f number, assuming that f number was. So let's try to fix this issue first. Oh sorry, I have to pass this one as a string like this. So let's try to refresh. Yeah, button is not clicked. Yeah, we know now button is not clicked because this person is accessing it without clicking the button. So now let's try to click the button if we are going to see this. Now let's try it. Yep, button is clicked. See that? So now we surely have that this button is clicked. After clicking now, instead of just printing this to the user, we need to get now the actual value. Now it's a time we're going to say f number is equal to get, and then we pass that f number like that one, and then we say echo number. And let's try to refresh and pass something here like 2000 and click, then we have it. The same issue, if somebody is trying to access this one without clicking the button, is going to get this error as usual. Now if we want to redirect the user, we don't like a user to access this file directly without clicking the button. So in PHP we also have a function known as header, not location, header, like this one, and then we're going to set that location and then specify the location where we want to send him back. So we want to send him back to the index.php. So here we just say not index.php. So if somebody tries to access this send file without clicking the button, he will be redirected back to index.php. So let's try it. Yes, so you cannot access, for example, let's try it again. I say localhost and we are passing len.php, then we're just trying to access send.php without clicking the button. So what's going to happen, you see that it will redirect back to index.php. Okay, that's fine. Now let's try to pass data and click this one. We actually not redirected. See that we are not being redirected back because we clicked the button. So this is how to obtain data from HTML and send it to the server side like this one and do some manipulation, something you want. And here you can write an algorithm to send data to the database, and that will be the later course. We're going to check it later. So this is how to connect your PHP and HTML file. Interesting. So let's try again to put something like, if you want to send file now, let's say a picture to a server. So how will you do something like that? But before that, let's try to use post method. So here we try to use post method. I think now you understand the difference between post and get. If you use post, if you use get, you're going to have this one, parameters in the URL. But if you use post, you will not see those parameters. So let's try it. We are using post, and then remember we have to change also here. So to simplify, if you're using Visual Studio Code, you can just highlight this one and then press Ctrl D. It will select, have double cursor selector like that, and then you can edit both at the same time like this way. Good. Now let's try it. We just change that because we pass post here. Let's try send something here and then say, let's now change this not be a number, just text. Let's refresh. There it is, and let's pass my name. Hit send. Yes, here it is, but the browser in this URL is now clean. We don't have those URL parameters like that. Good. So that's how to use post. Now let's try to make something interesting a little more, and we just use an input type file like this, and then let's say this is image. We are sending an image to a server by using PHP. So here we pass that name, but we are going to use it from PHP. So here we are going to again say if is set and say end is set again. Also want to get that image, so we pass like this one. If we set this and this, then we're going to have our image here. But since it is a file, we are not going to use post. I'm sorry, we are not going to use this one. Not going to use this one. I'm sorry. I'm going to not use this one. So let's try. Oh, we just need to pass this send here, not F number like this one. Yeah, both are working fine. Here it's time now to get that image. We copy this name and right after this one we just say image. Image is equal to, we are going to use now another global variable in PHP which is called files like this, and pass the name of that one. And then this is multidimensional array, and here we pass something like this name, and this is going to return the name of an image. For example, we say echo image like that. Then while you're sending image in PHP, remember to put ink type. Type is equal to multi-part form data. I don't think if it is this one. Let's just try an index dot, let's just say a.html. Just want to see if it's working, and then pass form, and then say ink type multi-part form data. Oh, I'm right. Okay, I have it, so I'm right. Then let's try to press it like this. Yeah, so let's try to refresh. Here we're going to choose a file, and then hitting send, we're going to get that name of the file from PHP. Let's go, click this one, and let's try to choose a picture. We have this C++ picture, open it, and we have it now. And let's click send. After clicking the send, we're going to have the name of the file. So this is really good. Now see that we are getting the name of image. So within this one there are so much things we can do with this image. After getting name, there is another thing, it's called a size of an image. Let's try to see the size of an image. Size is equal to, like this one is equal to files like that, and then pass image, and here we're going to pass size. So let's try to echo the size now. Size like this, and let's try to refresh. What you want to see? Yes, we have this size in bytes. So that's how you can do another thing if you want. You have size now. Let's try to see a TMP, temporary name of the file, and it's equal to files like this, and say image, sorry, image, and then passing TMP name. Let's just say echo TMP, and let's comment out these two lines and refresh. What we're going to see, yes, we have this temporary name. That's how to connect PHP and HTML. Alright, thanks for watching. We're going to proceed later. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Goodbye.